Welcome everybody, Bryan, to there's no official name for this. I'm gonna say Big Dog Reviews. We'll see. I'm starting a new loose show. Basically, the reason that this show exists is I was excited for Resident Evil 3. I played it in like 5 hours and it was over, and I was like, shit. I'm not done with Resident Evil. I got an idea. I'll come up with an excuse. I will play this game more, but I need to have some like reward for it. I know, we'll come up with a whole YouTube show that where we review video games. So that's it. Maybe in the future we'll review manga, we'll review movies, maybe we'll review hackers, anything. I'm up for anything. We'll invite friends from our community to come on. It's different guests. See, Ryan, I hooked Ryan in. Very loose, very informal. I want to try to keep these short too, so let's move on to it. Okay, today, everyone pull up your copies. We're reviewing Resident Evil 3. I'm very excited to talk about this. We got Bryan here.
Yo, how's everybody doing? I'm really excited to talk about Resident Evil 3. I'd never played the PlayStation version, so I'm excited to talk about the remake.
And then we got Ryan Reed here.
I'm also excited to talk about this game. I never played Resident Evil 3 in any way, shape, or form, so this was my first time playing against the Nemesis.
All right, so expectations leading up to RE3. Real fast, my background, my first internet alias was Resident Evil fan, hardcore Resident Evil fan. So no matter how good or bad, I need to play them. So before this, we all played Actually, even before this, I did play original Nemesis. I never beat it, but I got like towards the very end and I got bored, or I bounced off, whatever. Resident Evil 2 Remake. I think that was one of the best games of last year. Are we all kind of on the same page with that?
I think so, yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I loved Resident Evil 2 Remake. And as someone who didn't have any history with Resident Evil like you did as a kid, like I didn't have any attachment, that game was a masterpiece. I loved everything about Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Fuck yeah. And then just generally as like Resident Evil fans, like I'm hardcore, but you're pretty well, like what's your history with Resident Evil?
Yeah, I mean, I love Resident Evil. I got my first Resident Evil was Resident Evil 2 on N64.
Okay,
actually.
yeah.
And I would stay up really late at night when I was in the 6th grade, and I just played that game hours and hours. And then the next one I played was Code Veronica.
Okay.
And then just 4 and everything after that.
Yeah.
But I love the series, so with Resident Evil 2, brought me back. But with 3, the remake, I was really excited to dive deeper into the story, knowing what they did with 2.
Cool. And then Ryan, you said was Resident Evil 2?
Resident Evil 7 was the first Resident Evil game I ever beat.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Wow. So like I have no attachment to this series other than like that one movie with Mila Jovovich.
Okay. But had you played Resident Evil 4?
I got to the part where Ashley, and it was like, hey, you're an escort quest now. And I said, I'm good. And I turned it off and never played it again.
Right, wait. Hold on. We're going to get to the bulk of this. Ryan, have you not beaten Resident Evil 4?
No.
Okay. We'll close the loop on this later. Ryan, people would love to see you stream that.
Yeah.
That's one of the best games of all time. Come on. It's
It doesn't have a platinum.
Oh.
Brian, for some reason, it's only got 100%.
I will say though, it's such a good game. I encourage you to play it someday, even if you stream it.
Yeah.
Look, so I've played, right now, the 4 games that I've played in the Resident Evil series that I beat are 2 Remake, 3 Remake, 5, and 7.
Okay.
And so I probably will play 4 now. It's like I do like the Resident Evil series with some exceptions, which we'll get to in a second.
Okay. All right. So fundamentally, Resident Evil fans, I'm excited. Okay, so Resident Evil 2. Wow, Capcom's back. Fuck yeah. Going into Resident Evil 3. I was excited. I didn't try the demo. I didn't look at any gameplay footage. It's fucking Resident Evil. I'm in. So we're all kind of excited. RE2 Remake came out. Okay, so now first run through of the game. I had fun with it. I liked that I was able to unlock Jill's like original like skirt costume. That was like a digital pre-order. So that won some high points from me off the bat. It felt very similar to it. I was having a good time with it. I liked it. I guess the 2 main points of just like, I guess, criticisms, like I generally like the game. The 2 things that struck me playing it through the first time, Nemesis is handled so differently than Mr. X in Resident Evil 2.
Yes, he is.
Like, so playing Resident Evil 2, that is suspense the whole time through. Resident Evil 3 is like an action movie, but not, for me, Resident Evil 5 and 4 is that. Like, it doesn't detract from it, but it was like, oh, you are very conscious of when these Nemesis events are scripted. So playing it was like, I was never really too scared in the sense of just, it was linear. Okay, that's neat. And then I was having a good time. And then the game ended and it was like, oh, that's it. Oh, I wasn't done. So it was short, and Nemesis was handled differently. Other than that, though, my first run through, hey, it's fucking Resident Evil. It's better than 6. I'm having a good time with it. But again, I'm the biggest Resident Evil fan here. I want to hear what you guys have to say about. What was your experience just on the playthrough one?
Yeah, so for me, it was really cool. Like you, I did not play the demo going into it. I wanted a fresh take, and I was super excited for this just because I wanted to dive into this world. So going through it, I'd seen like set pieces that I was familiar with. Seeing them again and seeing them newly animated was incredible. The game was beautiful, so I loved that. And then the gameplay added a new element with the ability to dodge, which made it so cool.
It was like witch time effect when you would dodge it would, which was kind of cool.
You could actually add it even an extra element where you could master the dodge and then get a like free headshot on an enemy.
I like
it really helped in boss fights, so it was really cool.
In the boss fights there, when you would fight Nemesis, it almost felt like Monster Hunter, where it's like really mastering the dodge, getting that gap. I liked, and then the game was so fucking pretty. Like, I mean, that engine that they built for Resident Evil 2 and was using Devil May Cry, like, that just looks good.
Yes.
So it looked really pretty. There was that, like, aha moment when you go back as Carlos to the mansion again.
Yes.
It's like, oh, this is exciting. This is cool. There wasn't, I don't know, enough of that backtracking, enough of the fun interlocking fan service between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But it was very pretty.
But I did like that it was touching right on the butt of the game. Like, you know that you were there just moments before the events of number 2. So it was really cool to have that and to have the experience of kind of setting up what was going to happen in Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, and then Ryan, your first playthrough experience, because again, the journey of this is going to be, and we'll dig into this deeper we go, but just first playthrough, first impressions.
So let me preface this with my first playthrough of Resident Evil 2, because that's how I'll kind of contrast this. Having no knowledge about either of them, I didn't play any demos or anything. I went into 2 blind. I played it. I streamed my first playthrough of 2 by myself in the dark. I beat the whole game in one sitting, but it took 8 hours. I was scared out of my mind. I was having so much fun. I enjoyed all the puzzles, and it took me about 8 hours. My first playthrough of Resident Evil 3 blind, standard, nothing. Took me about 3.5 hours because that game is nothing but a fucking linear hallway. I did not like this game. I didn't think it was very, like, there were some parts where like, it's fun. But at the end of it, I just went, this didn't seem like at all the same thing that 2 was. It just felt like a fetch quest. Mm-hmm. Like, you didn't have that big open, like the RPD. There were only 2 puzzles in the whole game, and I solved both of them within like 15 seconds.
Maybe that's why I liked it. The fact that the puzzles in the game there was none of it. This game spoke to me. I love puzzles. I love a big open area where you have to go back and find things. Like, this does this. Now I've got, in 2, it's like, I can take this film and then I can put it in the film thing, and now I've got a code and I can go back and I can unlock this. Whereas this game was just like, just keep going forward, man. Like, who cares? Or it's like, all right, go over here, and then go to the other side of the map, then go back to this and go back to that. Okay, you're just kind of done. Yeah. And also, the same thing with the Mr. X, the tyrant in 2, was always on your ass. You always had to be worried. Where here, it's just like, okay, that first time he got me a couple times because I didn't know the sequence, but in everything after that, I was like, all right, he pops up here. He's never going to be a problem. It's what is it? QuickTime event mode. It's like you run to the thing, press X. It's like, it made it easy. Like, there was no fear. Resident Evil 3 I never beat because I was fucking scared of Nemesis.
Yeah.
I was never scared at all in Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil 2 freaked the fuck out of me.
Yeah. I mean, Resident Evil 3 got me a couple of times with a pretty good, jumps out of, like, Nemesis coming out of nowhere and landing in front of me. But really, for me, that game was more of a action thriller than what 2 was. Mm-hmm. And to compare the 2, like, I totally see that, Ryan. Like, if you didn't know that 3 is more of an action game going into
and
it...
I didn't.
Then it's like, that's me going into seeing the movie Drive and going, all right, when's the action movie going to start? The Drive is not an action movie, you know? So yeah, when this game is all about running and this game's more about like shooting and having fun and popping the zombies, that for me was what made the first playthrough almost like more relaxing. Like, I felt confident because I had played 2 and I had like that base of mechanics down, that the additions that they had made the game like fun and fast. The first time through. The second time through, which we'll get to in a sec, it made it even more confident and more fun.
And then the way, go.
I was gonna say the one thing you guys were talking about is when Carlos goes back to the RPD. Yeah. I was really excited with that because I loved how that started. You're like, oh, I'm here before everybody got there. In fact, when you first go through that hallway, you see the two cops who, if you played Resident Evil 2, when you first go through that hallway on the side, there's a dead cop who gets up and there's a guy on a pole. And it's like, you see them get there. And then it was, oh, cool. I'm going to get to play some Resident Evil 2. I'm in the police station. I've got to get those puzzles. And then it was just a linear hallway again.
Yeah, I was disappointed how short the sequence was. Yeah. It was like, oh, I thought it ended so fast.
One note I did like, though, is that if you played 2, there's some lockers in 2 that are on 3, and it's the same codes. So if you remember them from 2, it's like, oh, I know this because I've already opened
Cap and DMC.
DCM, Devil Cry May.
That's what I was thinking about. But the other thing that was missing, but I was surprised, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, or original PlayStation, every time Nemesis shows up, there's choices. Go this way or that. And that's what made playing the game so fucking hard and scary. Whereas this, it was just, oh, okay, you're just passing through. Yeah. But I think the overall thing is like it has all the fundamentals of a Resident Evil game, although, as Ryan points out, almost zero puzzles. Not a fault for me, but I totally get it. But it's like,
I want puzzles.
Fundamentally, they did all the labor in Resident Evil 2. All right, they fucking made it. Yeah. And then it seems like, and again, this is kind of speculation, it seems like while the A team is focusing on whatever the next Resident Evil, a B team took it over and okay, now we're gonna do the amateur run of like let's just try to make this. And again, I still liked it, but it's like, oh yeah, it seemed very like. I don't categorize this as like an A level game of like it's a fun B game, a really fun B game, but like it doesn't hit that A mark that fucking Resident Evil 2 all the fucking titles.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 remake hit. This just felt like this almost like the experience of Saints Row to Saints Row 4. Saints Row 3, fuck yeah. Within Saints Row 4, it's like here's more. Oh okay. Yeah, it's fun. I'm having fun, but then when it's over, it's like that was it. That's the exact same way I felt after Saints Row 4 is how I felt after Resident Evil 3, where it's like that was fun, but okay.
I'll say I'm getting a little harsh on this game, and I think it's because I love 2 so much.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a terrible game. I don't think it's I'm just saying like I was expecting after 2.
Totally.
I was expecting like I've heard about from Garrett and from Bryan, from you. Oh, Resident Evil 3, fucking Nemesis is so, and like I was expecting like this tension, and then I didn't get it. And you're right, it is like it's a fun little action game.
Yeah.
But it's fundamentally my problems with it are it's short.
Yeah.
It's a little too easy.
Yeah.
And the story really is just kind of nothing.
There
is no story.
Yeah, and the thing too, like if it like what again, Mr. X was so strong, Resident Evil 2 is so rich. But it's also why Resident Evil Nemesis, like, people kind of really don't talk about. People talk about 2, they talk about 4. I talk about, like, we talk about Code Veronica.
Yeah, we talk about Code Veronica.
Because Veronica's story gets weird. Nemesis is just, like, even just going back to the original Resident Evil, like, in the lore of it, it's just kind of a fun footnote. Oh, by the way, they also made this game take place the same part. Resident Evil 1, iconic, the mansion incident. Resident Evil 2, 3, just, so I think it just, when they try to rebuild it, they didn't go the extra mile to try to fix it. They're just
they just remade it.
Yeah,
and I think that's maybe the thing that that threw people off is that with 2 it felt like they did this overhaul and reinvented the game.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, we can't reinvent 3. You know, like the system's already been reinvented with 2. So now here's this game we redid 3, and we're getting more of 3, but. It's again, they took the previous version and they matured it to this level.
Yeah.
You know, the original version did not have a lot of puzzles. The original version was far shorter than Resident Evil 2. And that one exactly like it's like 20 years ago again. The exact same complaints about 3 back then are the same complaints now. And I think that's just the thing. It's like if you just want a little hey, I wanted like a little bit dip back into the Resident Evil world without having to commit to another full game, this was perfect for that.
Yeah.
But it's not the same full-fledged experience with all the puzzles as 2.
But then, so I finished the game, I liked it. Again, it was short, so I was like, oh, I guess I'll play more of this. And then I remembered, like, oh yeah, the joy of playing Resident Evil 4 again, where you can buy everything. The joy of playing Resident Evil 1 again, where you can speedrun it. It was like, oh, so now in the New Game Plus experience, the thing I really liked about this, and I think this was like them problem solving, in order to squeeze more replay value, they have this like bonus shop where you can buy different outfits. You can buy Jill's Resident Evil 1 outfit, and that I fucking loved. So I played it a second time. I picked Jill Valentine's old school outfit, and then I did a collectibles run, and that was fun going through it a second time. And now theoretically, if I wanted to keep going, I could play hardcore mode and have extra items. And like, I think I'm done with Resident Evil 3 for now, but I had fun with 2 runs out of it.
Yeah.
Whereas Resident Evil 2 forces you, well, it doesn't force you, but Resident Evil 2 encourages you. There's also that with Resident Evil 2. You do Leon A, Claire B. Like, there's that so much variety, whereas Resident Evil, there's kind of only one way to play Resident Evil 3. But I had fun the second time doing the collectibles run, but that's where my story ends. Ryan.
Yeah.
Now, Ryan, again, you played it like twice, right?
Yeah, I immediately went and played through it one more time. Same thing. It was like once it came up and I saw that extra menu, I'm like, oh, I want to unlock some of this stuff, and that's it. So yeah, I even want to get back in it and maybe even do more unlocking just for fun. Yeah. But that's when I'm looking for something to do while I'm relaxing.
Yeah, and like there is like those the in-game, there's already achievements, but then there's the in-game achievements, which is like, oh, kill 100 enemies, blah blah. And that point system is fun, and I like shit like that to grind in games. But now Ryan's platinum experience.
Yeah, I got the platinum in a day and a half. It took like no time.
So tell me, what was it like? So again, playing it the second time, I'm done with it. What's it like? So what's it like rinsing, going further? Like, you already didn't like the game once. What was the rest of the story like for you? Going through this on hard mode, Inferno mode, Nemesis, all this bullshit.
Played the game, just played it, found a lot of the collectibles, but not all of them. Did a quick run back, got all the collectibles, did a run with unassisted, which is the lowest one, just to get it over quick, with not using the item box and not using any healing items. Whatever, that took like an hour. You beat the game in like an hour. Then I did a quick couple hours at night farming kills to get all of the unlockables in that system you're using so that I could unlock the unlimited rocket launcher and all the other items. That took maybe a couple hours. And then literally I played the game 3 more times, and each one only took about an hour on hardcore Nightmare and Inferno mode. Which honestly, with an unlimited rocket launcher, the hardest part of that game is the beginning before you get to the first item box.
Sure.
Right.
Because okay, so I did all of this on 2, right? I played the game on hardcore mode on both. And in 2, you can't just unlock the unlimited rocket launcher unless you play on the hardest difficulty and you get an S+. So once you have the unlimited rocket launcher, you're already done with the game. Here, all you got to do is just play the game, kill a couple zombies and you get it. And so in the hardcore modes in like 2 and especially 7, it felt more like a remixed game. There were enemies in different areas. There were different puzzles in some of the games. It felt like a whole new game. In 3, the only difference in the modes is that the enemies take more bullets and do more damage. That's it. That's the only difference, is that it felt incredibly lazy. It's just, let's just make all of the zombies more bullet spongy.
Okay.
And so the hardest part of that game, by far, is that first scene where Brad is saying, get in the bar, and you have to go by a zombie, because on Inferno mode, the zombie is 2 times faster and you can't dodge.
It's faster?
And you can't dodge?
Well, you keep hitting the button and it doesn't do shit.
Wow.
It took me 10 tries to get by the thing until I realized how to dive around it. And then after that, I just took off and I never died again. Like, it's really, really terrible that all they did was they made Nemesis faster so it's harder to shoot, or it takes more bullets to kill a guy. It's just like, it felt incredibly lazy. That platinum has got to be the easiest Resident Evil platinum I've ever gotten. It's also got one of the highest percentages of people getting it. It's like, most Resident Evil games are very rare to rare platinums. This one's already uncommon, which means above 20%. I think right now it's sitting at about 40% of the people who play the game get the platinum.
Wow.
It's super easy.
Yeah.
It did not, when I got done with Resident Evil 2, it took me a week. I had to do all these fun things, and afterwards I was like, yeah, I did it. Awesome. This game took me a day and a half. I went, okay, well, that was $60.
Yeah. Very cool.
I'm not proud of that one.
Hey, but I'm happy because, again, it also gave you extra incentive. I wanted to talk to more people about it. You got the game. We played it.
You texted me, it's like, hey, I want to talk about Resident Evil 3. And I said, I haven't picked it up yet. And he's like, you should pick it up. The next day after you texted me, I told you I beat it. And he's like, all right, we'll do this. And the next day after that, I had the platinum.
Fuck yeah.
I had a feeling you would.
Fuck yeah.
I told him, like, Ryan will probably have it done within a few days.
So again, no better person to talk to Resident Evil 3 about. Just seen every corner. That's fucking great. So I guess summing up real fast, overall impressions of Resident Evil 3. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. This isn't on the scale of bad Resident Evil games to me. There's fucking there's so many weird corners of Resident Evil. There's Operation Raccoon City. There's the first person one on PlayStation. There's Gaiden. Like there's weird spin-offs. This is I would say Resident Evil 3 Remake is better than Revelations 2. Maybe on the same level as Revelations. Hey, these are both fun side games.
Yeah.
Like I hold like Code Veronica 2, like all the mainline ones. 6 is I think Resident Evil 3 Remake's better than 6. I liked it. I think it's a solid B game. Not in terms of this gets a B because a B is good. Like B in terms of there's a B movie. It's a B movie.
Yeah.
This is a B game. So I feel like if people I think Ryan is the best way to sum it up. And I'll let Ryan sum it up in his own words perfectly. I'll just leave it at, hey, I like Resident Evil. I like this game. Not as good as Resident Evil 2 Remake. Short, but I had fun with it. Sure. But if you're on the edge, I wouldn't pay $60 for it. If you're a hardcore Resident Evil fan, fuck yeah, like I am. But yeah, so I liked it. But that's it.
Yeah. For me, it came at a perfect time between game releases, so it was also wedged in that time where I wanted a game that I could beat fast. So I would say that definitely the biggest thing you'll hear about this game is how short it is.
Yeah.
But for me, the replayability, it makes it easier for some of those who aren't like Ryan.
Yeah.
Who, do this often with games.
Yeah.
To have a game where they can, oh, you know what? I felt like I did a lot in this game, and I don't normally do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't go back and I play a lot and do a lot of replays. This game brought that back, and I love that feeling. That's what made Resident Evil 4 fun to me. So I would really recommend it for somebody who is looking for a game that's really fast to beat. Don't get it at $60 if you're on that fence.
When it's 30 or $20, this is a perfect weekend game.
It's a $30
This is a
game.
Weekend, this would be a rent it, rent it, if it was still back in that term, we should have fucking Blockbuster ratings. It's a rent it.
I would say no, definitely.
Yeah.
This is a game. This is a weekend rental.
Borrow from friends.
This is a weekend
Redbox
rental.
is still a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
GameFly is technically still a thing. And maybe actually has a second breath. So try that out. But honestly, it's a weekend rental. Yeah. It's really fun. It's
Game Pass game.
Yeah. It's not gonna get you the same enjoyment as Resident Evil 2 in terms of depth, but it'll give you that nice fun highlight.
And then Ryan.
I mean, you guys have pretty much said what I'd say, except I didn't hate this game. I didn't like this game. It was okay. It had some cool parts. It definitely had some really cool, holy shit moments, like when that giant head is rolling down the stairs.
Oh, yeah, there's some of that goofiness.
You literally blast a hole through the entirety of a raccoon, or of the umbrella. It's got some good points. If we were to rate this game on a 0 to 10 scale, I'd give it a 6.
Yeah, I would give it.
I would definitely say it's not worth $60. I wouldn't even say it's worth $30. I'd say it's about the $20 range. Okay. So rent it. If you can rent it down at a Redbox for
borrow it from a friend,
or borrow it from a friend, you can probably finish the game in a day or two. Or when we hit the holiday season, someone's gonna have it on Doorbuster for 10 or $20. Pick it up then.
Yeah.
And then I guess as a Resident Evil fan, I was not disappointed. I guess I will say also future of Resident Evil. So I think it's rumors, but I think they said they are doing Resident Evil 4 Remake. But then what I imagine, this is maybe speculation, Resident Evil 4 Remake, but then I also would like to hope they're working on Resident Evil 8 or whatever I'm sure there's 2 games in development, Remake and then whatever the future is. There's an epilogue at the end of Resident Evil 3 where it looks like Jill grabs the remnants of the vaccine or something.
Somebody does.
Yeah, so maybe that's if that is a cliffhanger for Resident Evil 8, that'd be cool. That's what I would love.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
7 has been my favorite one still, so if I could get a Resident Evil 8 that plays off of that, I would love more.
7 was so cool and fresh, and
7 is amazing.
I'd love to see what they do. Because 7 was cool. Yeah, so again, after Resident Evil 6, it was fuck this. Fuck this.
Yes, it was.
They saved it. Cool. So, hey, keep going. And also there's people shouldn't remake 4, but whatever. That 4 is always going to be there. Let them. I want to see make a weird fucked up 4 or make it cool. I don't know. It's more Resident Evil, and as me, the Resident Evil fan, the prime consumer for this shit, make more. I'll play them. Whatever.
They've shown that this engine can do both this creepy survival horror with 2 and the action with 3. So I'd love to see 4 in this engine because this engine. Everything I say about this game, whatever, that engine is still a 10 out of 10. That engine rules.
Like,
so many more games in it.
You'd have to admit that the one thing that no matter what was so much fun about that game was the gameplay. It was actually fun to play, and dodging nemesis and dodging all the enemies.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. Yeah, give me another.
And
one.
I think the way we are now with video games, I think that kind of gameplay is more engaging than something like there is a place like Resident Evil 1, like that original old school survival horror. That's fucking cool. 25 years later, like if I want that and go to Resident Evil 1, I think giving this faster gameplay is so much more exciting.
I think so,
than just slow motion like.
I want that slow.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm gonna die at any second.
Okay.
I want that horror.
Okay.
But that's me, and that's why
7's a good balance.
Seven was the best balance of both.
Fuck
you had those high intensity moments, but you also had that oh fuck, what's around this corner? Oh fuck.
And then quick tiny tangent because we're already at like maybe 20 minutes.
Okay.
Theoretically, we're saying, it's a $60 game. They threw in fucking multiplayer mode in that.
Oh yeah.
I want to try that. It looks goofy and dumb. I want to try it once. I don't know. This is to the YouTube audience. Has anyone played it? Let me know. Also, while we're doing our call to action, please, I want you guys leave your review of Resident Evil 3. Like I want to hear your comments.
Yes,
let us know.
please.
But yeah, Ryan, have you played the multiplayer?
No, and we all own this game. We should probably play it together.
Well, then we should stream it. We should stream it too.
We should stream it.
Because I did into it a little bit, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I think it's like, at the very least, it's a good game to troll your friends with.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like, as soon as Mr. X or the Tyrant comes, I'm running. I'll let you guys handle it.
It's got an entirely separate platinum. So
I feel like I feel like if we approach it like a shitty B game, it'll be hilarious.
Yeah.
I think I want, and maybe Steve too. I'm down to try it. But if anyone's played it, let us know. I'm open. It's fucking free. Why not?
I'd be down to. Hey, we own it already.
Yeah,
we might as well.
We should stream it too.
Yeah.
And then real fast, we're recording this now. I think this is April 18th. But yeah, what's next in our backlog? What are we currently playing? Right now, like we're actually, Ryan, are you gonna be playing Final Fantasy 7?
I just picked it up, so now that I'm done with this, I'm gonna start it. I'm also waiting for a copy of Disaster Report 4 to come in the mail, so I'm gonna check that game out.
Oh baby!
Get ready!
Oh baby!
Get ready!
I got it because of you guys, and I got it for the great price of $0.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I can't wait.
Okay, so real fast, Disaster Report 4. We started streaming it. I might stream more tonight, if not tomorrow. This is like a Deadly Premonition. If there's a term for it, like
Shenmue.
Yeah, just this is a fun game to either stream or play with friends.
Yeah.
Don't play this by yourself because I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a fun game. It's like Trauma. It's like this is trash to enjoy with friends. It's like The Room. You know what I mean?
There's a trophy for taking a piss. Like,
yeah,
I'm in.
Oh,
this
okay, cool.
This is a silly, goofy game. We have streams of it. Check out our channel. But yeah, I'm playing Disaster Report 4. It's fucking weird. And then my serious game, Final Fantasy 7. I think the next main game I'm gonna play for myself is Final Fantasy 7. Bryan, you're kind of deep into it. Quick impressions.
Yeah, I'm loving Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I think they did as good of a job with that as Capcom did with Resident Evil 2 Remake. And I'm very, very... I like to separate the two, so I'm enjoying this as its own piece.
Totally.
And that's what's making it really cool.
Yeah.
The next thing that I'm going to probably hit up for a little bit is Doom 64.
Yeah!
$5 on PSN.
Fuck yeah.
And it's fun. Apparently, it's really long. It's like 24 levels or more.
Oh, dang.
Make sure you use save states, because you were saying when you
it's got
die
save
in
states.
Doom, you fucking use
In
all your
original
weapons.
Doom, there's no quick saves. So yeah, I had to remember to but you can map those onto your face button. So square is quick save and triangle is quick load. So
very cool.
There you go.
Afterwards.
Well, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching our first kind of big dog review show, whatever. Again, this is just all media, fun way to hang out, chat with people. So yeah, please, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, the 2020 version. Leave your comments below. If you want to make a video response, do that. Put your shit in the thing below. We'll share it as always. Of course, join the Big Dogs Discord. We love it. We have sections about gaming, everything. Any type of media, hang out with us. We're in the Big Dogs Discord. And of course, we're all on Twitch. Twitch TV, Frank Howley. Ryan, please plug your Twitch.
Twitch.tv/Dr. Ryan, Dr_Ryan. Check me out.
Fuck yeah. We'll put all the links there. It's great. Welcome to the Big Dogs if you're new. Hello to all of our friends if you're already with us. But yeah, let us know what you think. This is just, I just want to put this out there.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to do more of this stuff, but it was fun to talk about Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I think that kind of covers it. I guess the one thing that's fun to talk about, it was kind of interesting to play both Resident Evil and Disaster Report. These are both...
Oh, yeah.
These are games about disasters happening in cities. And
we're
playing
I didn't
this
think about that.
right. Resident Evil 4 opens. Resident Evil 3 opens. Citizens have been quarantined in Raccoon City and Vines. The virus is spreading. The virus is spreading.
The timing of these games,
right? And Disaster Report 4 is the same thing. Of
like
no,
earthquake.
So like, but right, you kind of forget about that when you're playing. So I don't know. But I thought that was just a fun note of like, oh, interesting time to release these games. I had fun. Again, man, there's something with like. I'm reading Junji Ito now, it's the same thing. When it comes to Japanese horror, there's like a schlockiness that I love. Yeah. And I feel like Resident Evil, you can't say Resident Evil without smiling. Yeah. There's just a B movie, like, they're inspired by Romero. There's in Stephen King, there's that B movie schlock. And so like that's why even if Resident Evil gets bad, I love checking it out. Yep. I am so charmed by Resident Evil. So it was fun to talk. If nothing else, it was fun to talk about Resident Evil.
Absolutely.
It was worth getting able to talk and have this discussion.
Fuck yeah. So thank you so much, Ryan. We'll put all the links. Follow us everywhere. We'll do more stuff. We'll have different people on to it other times. Hang out in the Discord. Let us know what you think of Resident Evil. See you guys on Twitch. See you on the internet. Take care. And don't let the zombies bite. That was my little closer. Ryan.
Get me off. I can't.
Have a good night, guys. Take care.
Good night.
Take it easy.
Big Dogs Gaming Show. OS for life. Take it easy.